Welcome to another episode of The Growth Compass. Shout out to our sponsor, Senders. If you want to do cold email deliverability correctly, you know where to find me. I'll connect you with the right people over at Senders. But without them, wouldn't be able to talk with awesome people like Edward Tsinovoi today. Well, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me with you.
Oh, this is so cool. To my knowledge, the things I've read, things I've heard, the people I've talked to, you've done some really awesome things in your life. So I'll let you do a quick introduction of where you're at currently, what you're working on currently, and a little bit about what you can get into.
Sure. So my name is Edward. I'm co-founder and CEO at iRiver. I have more than 20 years of experience in the high-tech industry, primarily in the deep tech space. Today, I'm leading iRiver as a co-founder and as a CEO. But before that, I led the core platform of Akamai, responsible for end-user performance aspects of Akamai and developing of edge computing at Akamai. Before even the CDN, the edge world, I spent a significant amount of time in the storage industry, coming from startup like Exanet almost 20 years ago,
Yeah,
the acquisition of Dell, and then the acquisition of Dell and merged with AMC.
great.
It was practically it's an exciting journey for myself. It's an exciting learning curve that I experienced during the years, and it brought me to this point that I'm feeling comfortable to lead an innovative, amazing startup, amazing company, which doing extremely well. We are have amazing progress in the field and with the customers. It looks like the technology that we're bringing to the field is really disrupt the market that we are operate, accepted extremely well by all the players there, and simply moving the world to the right place.
Awesome. Have most of these experiences been in the same place, or have you moved around a lot?
I started my experience in APM world. There was for a relatively short time, for 2 years practically. After that, I moved to the startup. This is my first experience as in a startup. I joined as a young software team leader at Exanet, and there
Where were they based?
it based in Israel, but it was a global company. We had practically people
Great, great,
all
great.
around the world, and there I started to grow my career. And we after a few years we were acquired by Dell, and then I led the engineer part of the engineering of the organization, worked together with inside giant like Dell to integrate the startup that they were acquired
Yeah,
inside their portfolio. Few years after that, there was a huge acquisition or merge that happened in this world between Dell and in those as EMC, which led all the storage industry in those days. And this merge created a huge amount of opportunities to work with amazing teams around the world, and a huge challenge how you are in this merge position, create collaboration, create synergy between these different products. And it was a exciting journey for myself, for growing, for understanding better the deep tech, to understanding better the business perspective, how the things are working in such large organizations. And then I moved to experience the customer side of the world, because it was a deep tech, and
right,
they
right.
felt that I should understand how the customers of deep tech are feeling. So I have a short episode that I joined to the Uber company of Israel. And and there was responsible the core platform of this similar to Uber called Get, a platform here in Israel. And then I back to the deep tech, to the place that I'm feeling comfortable, mostly comfortable, that I'm feeling that I have a lot of to
Yeah.
contribute. I really like this space, and joined to Akamai to lead the Israeli organization responsible on the core platform of Akamai. And there we made amazing things. It was amazing to arrive to super, experienced, smart team, and take this team and grow out the team to grow and impact on billions of people around the world on a daily basis. And after that, to jump to the water and start your own business, you need some help. the thing that my co-founder was definitely the pusher. And
Okay.
after we left Akamai, and I worked with Mickey for 12 years since the Dell days. I hired him. It took me half a year to hire him in Dell, but then I hired him, and we worked together a few years at Dell. Then we worked at Akamai for almost 5 years. And when we left Akamai, we thought, what is the next for each one of us? And he told me, listen, this is the time. Let's go and do.
Nice.
Let's start our journey. And the market that we operate in, the edge market, it was still in kind of situation that it's frozen. These large companies like Akamai, like Cloudflare, like Fastly, they have so much responsibility. They are the internet. If one of them is down, if one of them has any issue, we couldn't talk between us. The internet will be down completely. And when you are operating in such a and has such a responsibility, the cost for mistake since the cost of mistake is so high, you cannot take risks. And no risks mean, and I experienced in Akamai, we froze the network for a year, zero changes. Just don't do a mistake. And in the world that you simply cannot live with mistakes, doesn't allow you to develop, doesn't allow you to grow. And therefore this industry, the edge industry, needs some disruption, significant disruption, that will allow the edge to grow. And we need the edge for everything today. When we consume content, no matter whether it's news, using any application around the world, it's everything internet. It's everything through the edge platforms. So they are playing huge role in our life. We will practically couldn't operate
Sure.
our
Yeah.
day by day without internet. And therefore they must continue to grow, especially with the AI revolution that
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
days. AI allow us create huge amount of traffic, huge amount of content instantly. I can create videos, images, everything in seconds. Sometimes, a few years ago, you needed to have a team which would work a year to create this kind
Yeah.
of content. Today, you are doing it in seconds, and all this content should be delivered around the world. The infrastructure, the industry which is responsible to deliver this content must upgrade, must change,
So
must start move faster, and iRiver is the enabler for that.
okay. So because I do want to go deeper. I think that was a wonderful introduction into the industry and what iRiver does. It is interesting to me. You've been in the deep tech startup space in Israel for a while because I think, as you said, all of these
More than
experiences.
20 years.
Yeah. So how have you seen it change over time?
So it's really interesting. I believe that if you're looking on Israel as an industry, there are people which call it, startup nation, and and there are huge amount of ideas and huge amount of startups that growing in Israel. But if you look, 20, 30 years ago, we had many startups. We succeeded to build and create innovation in Israel, but very very quickly these startups were acquired by giants. We didn't have, in Israel many companies. We have few, but not a significant amount of companies that succeeded to go and do a long journey, through from being, let's say, a company of tens, hundreds million dollars in valuation, to companies, to unicorns of billion-dollar companies and things like that. Because we were simply acquired very quickly, we didn't know how to build, a global operation that can take the innovation to a mass production. Which, for example, in US, the companies are doing it. It's a masterpiece. They are doing it fantastically, and we learned a lot as industry during the years. In today's world, there are tens, hundreds of probably unicorns today in Israel. We are, as industry succeed, we are starting the companies. We are still bringing a huge amount of innovation, but we are not acquired so quickly. So we are running much longer, and we are succeeding to implement our vision for to reach much higher stage for that. There are many super global companies which already, if you look on names definitely Checkpoint
Yeah, sure.
and Waze and the other companies in this that coming from Israel, they succeed to grow and reach huge amount, large evaluations, large business impact on and operate really around the world. And it's amazing to see it. I believe that the next growth of Israel industry will be that, these days Wiz was acquired by Google for $32 billion. So it's definitely amazing acquisition. These guys are superstars, and they're really build an amazing company, amazing impact, I believe, on our world. But I believe that the next step for from grow will be that these companies like Wiz in Israel, and there are additional companies that they're growing to be Wiz in Israel. There are multiple of them that they will not be acquired, and we will see in Israel, $100 billion companies which are operating in Israel, and we are on the way to there. I believe it will happen,
Yeah.
and as industry, we are definitely on the right projection, and we have amazing ecosystem to build more and more innovation. We are a very small country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So within this context, that's interesting how it's changed. You said from, I guess, at the beginning previously there were more acquisitions, maybe people's incentives were around that, also aspiring to be acquired, and now the industry in Israel supports, or the ecosystem supports people growing for longer before being acquired. So within this ecosystem where you find yourself with IO River, what has your experience been since you guys started the company, and also how you've grown the company? Do you identify as a deep tech company?
Sure. First of all, from the ecosystem, it's amazing. When we started the journey, I didn't believe how much it's strong in Israel. The startups ecosystem in Israel, it's unbelievable. From the point that we started our journey, we were huge amount
Awesome.
of support from entrepreneurs which already made this kind of journey, and they are really there to help. For no any, I don't need to give anyone to anything to anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Just people ready to help. This is the ecosystem that was built there. It was, we are first timers, so we didn't have any connections with anyone, no venture, no VCs connections,
Sure, sure.
no any investors, nothing. And very quickly, with the help of the ecosystem, and we were exposed to the entire, to the venture capitals, which there are hundreds there which operate and doing amazing work. We founded iRiver. The first thing that happened, we are joined to Ignite Accelerator. It's a post seed accelerator which doing their amazing work. It connected us to all the ecosystem, open for us for connections, provided us a lot of knowledge. Again, as a first time CEO, I'm not expert in to be a CEO in the startup. There are tons of people that made it before me, and they really helped. The Ignite team extremely helped us
Is that how
to
you
become much.
found your first customers, was through this community?
No, finally, customers, it's on you,
Okay.
and you bring your own customers.
Okay.
But the IT industry in Israel, it's so developed. So definitely the first customers came from this ecosystem. So it's not didn't came from the accelerator, but from the ecosystem, from the industry. They are available for you. They are looking for innovation. They are looking for collaboration, and we had amazing opportunities to collaborate with the most, I know most, but really, really
Yeah.
advanced startups, advanced companies in the space that allow us to sharp the product and bring it to the point that we are.
Were they in your network, or did you do some cold outreach to find them?
So mostly it's through the network. Israel, it's a
Okay.
small place,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and with two connections, I can connect. I can talk with everyone
Right.
practically in Israel,
Oh, good, good.
and they're really open to help. So in Israel, again, for us, for me, it's only hot introductions and hot connections. But you need a team. I have a team around me and we developed this network, these connections. But it's less called outreach. When we started to grow the startup,
Yeah.
beyond playing in our kindergarten here in Israel,
Yeah.
and we started to focus on Europe, then it's definitely become the cold outreach become much more significant. We don't have a same level of connections
Yeah,
in
of
the entire
course.
Europe like we have in our in our neighborhood here. So and they're cold outreach, outbound to build a SDR team to start reach out the people, to tell them the story, to bring to their attention is one of the methods that we are used and using today to reach out to our customers.
Yeah, so that was my next question was where are you at now as far as your arc, your story of your experience of growth?
So today we have already more than tens of paying customers.
Awesome.
We are already serving hundreds of petabytes through our virtual edge platform, and the majority of the customers are direct customers. We are already partnering with several, I don't know many, but multiple system integrators or resellers. At least third, I think, of our customers coming from resellers. They are very powerful. It's really powerful channels when it's coming to Europe, and because in every country it's a little bit different, and you need these local partners to help you to penetrate these markets and work efficiently there. So we developed partnerships with multiple system integrators, resellers, and in parallel, we invested in two things. First one is inbound to create present, because no one heard about iRiver
Yeah.
2 years ago, so we should create a present on digital, on social media space like LinkedIn, create a presence in Google, and from one side for inbound traffic to bring in leads and opportunities that are interesting in what we are doing, and allow them to hear about us. And the second approach is definitely outreach. Outreach to which done via emails, LinkedIn, calls, and also through conferences. We arrive to the conference, we are going and meet the people, um, to first of all, tell the world the story, tell the world what we are doing, how we are changing this world, and how they could benefit from the new world that we are creating. But it's tough. It's the outreach. It's
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what's interesting to me about the next question because it is really awesome to be able to speak to somebody who has experience cold starting as a founder, getting support from a network, finding your first customers, finding success in that, and then being able to grow with your product and find some type of fit within the market. And now that your guys' approach has evolved to more cold outreach conferences, stability with inbound and stuff, what is the biggest hurdle that you guys are experiencing at the moment as far as growth, if there is one?
we are still startup. We're still very young startup. Our brand is weak relatively to to the industry, to
Yeah.
the
Okay.
large
Yeah.
players, and I think that we must find. We are working to improve the awareness to
Okay.
our brand, and to do it in a lean way, because we don't have a huge amount of money. I cannot create the campaigns,
Yeah. Yeah.
with a significant budget, and thing like that. And still, I should create awareness to the brand, to iRiver, and it's definitely a challenge, and to do it in parallel to increasing of the amount of leads acquisition that we succeed to do, is challenging with very small marketing team and marketing.
Got it. So I'm curious now, as far as because I saw that you are judging at a deep tech pitch competition, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, in the
Um,
Ignite again, they are doing an
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
They are building the next lineup of the startups.
yeah,
I in this competition, I saw amazing startups. They will do really good. I really would uh, pay my attention to the startups that are
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
I think they will become the next with companies.
Yeah, so I have two questions for you before we get to the one that will wrap our conversation. And the first one is, can you define, in your words, what deep tech means?
So, from my perspective, deep tech is a technology. It's a very technological solution that's solving some human need practically. I would divide between a business or product, business technologies. Let's say you are managing something, you are doing it inefficiently today, and you want to automate the human processes to make it more efficient. And there are amazing companies in this space, but they are practically automating operations that we are as a humans doing. Create a new capabilities which are not existing
Okay.
today. They are creating a new, finally it's Lego,
Oh,
you
sure.
know, and the deep tech create a piece in this Lego. It's not creating a full picture of end to end a human being pain solution. This one is a product companies. Is a business companies which taking a look on end to end human, me and you problem or challenge that we are solving, and trying to build this Lego, a puzzle, a full puzzle to help us to be able to operate from, to flight faster, to
Yeah.
get to be more knowledgeable, to be more healthy, to be thing like that. The deep tech create the piece in this puzzle. It's creating the piece itself, the single piece, which was it's not a Lego of few things. It's really create the unit, this piece which was not existing before that.
So
So from my perspective, this is the deep tech, but this is the way how I see it. It doesn't mean that it's
yeah, yeah.
the way that the people and other industry will define it.
Oh, that's a beautiful, I think, analogy. Really easy to understand. They're creating a new Lego piece. I love that. My follow-up question to that, based on that definition, what do you think are the biggest, again, from your own experience or people that other founders that you've spoken to, what do you think is the biggest or a few of the most difficult hurdles to get over for a deep tech company as far as growth is concerned?
So first of all, I think it's the deep tech is, since it's very very technical detail, you should be able to take it and able to tell the story in the way that people which are not in the details of this
Mm.
very very deep tech technology, that will allow the world to understand how this small piece can impact and change the entire world. Yes, so I think this is the first challenge. It's much easier to explain functional things. I'm creating I don't know, I'm creating a capability to to manage webinar for 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 companies. So me and you understand what does it mean. When you create a deep technology, it's much more technical, and you should be able to explain and tell the story that will allow to many people to understand how this piece could be entered to the puzzle A to puzzle B and make these all puzzles and all these stories more successful. So it's much more complicated to take this technical story to the story that all of us can understand and feel that we are it's really needed, and it's not some a Lego piece that nobody
Yeah.
care about.
Is it how are you guys doing with that aspect? The storytelling
And
aspect.
yes, so first of all, we are using experts. And saying in Ignite, for example, the first thing that they provided us is a storytelling training and a storytelling consulting, an expert that will work with us and help us to take our deep tech story, which Probably in those days, only few people in the world, in the in Israel, I could tell them and they could understand me. To the way that really people around me will be easier for them to understand, appreciate, and later on, of course, to buy this technology. So the storytelling is a huge part. I'm not a nature storytelling
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
expert, and I learned a lot from the people that I met in this space. And until today, I'm using experts that helping me to bring the story in the better way, and in the way that it will be better consumed by the audiences.
So does that storytelling take place in your like on your website, on your LinkedIn, like in your sales emails and the conferences, like where when you're talking to these experts and they're helping you with your messaging and things like this, where are the places that the story is being told?
So the storytelling is converted, to the messaging. Messaging, you have messaging in the website. First of all, this is the the face of
Yep.
the company. And you have, of course, in the social media like LinkedIn is, in our space, it's extremely powerful. So you have we have a lot of messages. We are trying to build who we are in LinkedIn, and then also in conversations, how we are telling how, when we met a prospect, when we met a customer, when we met a partner, the way how we are telling the story of our product. This is the, I would say, the main areas. And of course, investors, later on, when you're
Yes. Very
raising
important.
raising and growing the business, the investors become, they are experts in storytelling. There are thousands of companies that they are see, which are really doing the best to tell the right story, and you must sharp your story
Yeah, yeah.
to be able to pass through this journey.
Was there a period of time, haven't gotten into the details of your business model, but was there a period of time that you guys were pre revenue and then you transitioned into selling and that's when you had to raise money? Or have you always been in a position to sell a product to generate revenue as a deep
No,
tech?
we raised the first money on pitch, we'll
Nice.
go.
Nice, nice.
And it's amazing, the investors, that the seed investors that has the capability to meet thousands of teams and pick the right one. It's so tough, and they're doing amazing work. We are so lucky to have our investors, the S Capital investors, Chaim and Aya, that believed in us, as first of all, as a people and as a professionals,
Okay, yeah.
to give the trust that we will succeed, to take idea and our experience and expertise from presentation, from deck, from practically nothing, to to a product, to a company, to something that changing this the world that we are operating. It's amazing. And today we are post revenue. We are already
Oh,
selling,
great. How many years did it
but
take?
we are only the beginning.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are we have a huge journey to go.
How many years did it take for you to get there?
The first customer took for us, one and a half year, I think.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, something like that. But since it's a deep tech technology, it's take to time to build it.
Of
It's
course,
really
of
complicated what we
course.
are doing, and you must build it, and you need this time to build. So yes, we had a team which built it for at least 1.5 year before we succeeded to bring the first customer. And this customer is a hero, to
Yeah.
take to take the chance with a startup, to give him a trust. Amazing. And they saw huge value from iRiver. They improved performance by 50% for their traffic. They saved more than $1 million a year using iRiver. So for them, the ROI was amazing. But still, to provide a trust on the startup, to be the first one, wow,
Wow.
unbelievable. But it happened, and after that, you are growing. There is only first customer,
That's
you
correct.
know,
There's only one first one.
only one first customer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, congrats, Edward. That's really exciting. We're coming up on time, and this has been an awesome. I've learned a lot. I really appreciate your perspective. And usually, what I like to finish with is, I'm curious, what inspires you?
I think first of all, the people. I think that the people that I met during this journey, they are amazing. and I learn from them a lot. I learn from my team. I learn from the investors that trust on me. I'm learning from the ecosystem, starting from Israel, and now we are growing more and more in US. So the ecosystem in US and the people which are there to learn and grow as a company and personally. I think that the industry that we are operating is demand disruption. I think that we are doing the right thing. We are allowing the customers to avoid relying single vendor. We allow the customers to improve reliability, performance, and cost efficiency. And we see the reaction of our customers is amazing. They like the platform. They like what we are doing and do good for do good for so many people, do good for their businesses. It's amazing. So from my perspective, I really enjoy any day in this journey, learning a lot from many people around and exciting from what we are doing in this world, in this industry, and how we are impact on billions of people around the world.
Wonderful. That's awesome. That's super cool. You're inspiring me, I think, by your story. Well, thank you so much for your time today. This was a really interesting conversation. If there's someone that's interested in reaching you, what's the best way to do so?
So first of all, I think it's www.iRiver.io.
Okay.
This is our website. And of course, LinkedIn. Everybody are more than welcome to message me privately or non privately on
Awesome.
LinkedIn. I will be glad to answer and connect with everyone.
Sweet. Well, Edward, thank you so much for your time. And I'm excited. I'm excited to keep in touch.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you.